often they are people, voiceless people, migrants that come here, asylum seekers that come here, African-American men and women calling for racial reckoning. I mean, what does the election results say to you about the country's disposition around all those issues?
We got Michigan.
Well, it says a couple of things. I mean, one, Trump's reaction and saying that he's going to run to the Supreme Court, which is essentially the equivalent of like, I'm going to call the manager because I get what I wanted, shows his disdain for all people, right? I mean, because we have to be clear, Donald Trump doesn't seem to like anybody. He may have a particular disdain for black people. He may have a particular disdain for children at the border. But remember, this is a guy who left his own supporters out in the middle of a tarmac and hopped on a plane. There's nobody who Donald Trump likes. I don't even think he likes his kids. So the contrast that we're seeing here is that America, by the slightest of disturbing margins, decided they wanted to pick someone who doesn't actively dislike the people who gave him the job. I am disturbed by the fact that not enough Americans made that decision. I'm disturbed by the fact that you have large numbers of people who are like, yeah, a guy who leaves people out in the cold, and 250,000 people die of COVID and harasses women and everything else like that. I want a little bit more of that, and I don't really know if I wanted the other guy. So this election actually shows me a lot of really disturbing things about this country racially, very disturbing things about this country from a gender standpoint. And I have to say this, because if Joe Biden becomes president of the United States, and I hope that he does, because he is not a dictator in the making, and he seems to be a decent guy, I will immediately turn around my hat and be excruciatingly critical of him, because you cannot come into this White House with the idea that these people aren't the enemy. They are. The people chasing the Biden-Harris truck out of Texas, they are the enemies of democracy. The people right now attacking vote counters in Detroit, they are the enemy. Kyle Rittenhouse is the enemy. Mitch McConnell is the enemy. And if there's one thing that Democrats should have finally figured out in this campaign, you can't treat the Republican Party with kid gloves, because they won't treat you that way. I hope Joe Biden just gave this speech to sound nice, because everything isn't locked down yet. Maybe Senator Harris will have this idea should she become VP, but they have to go into this realizing they are in a war. The war for the soul of America will not end once he's inaugurated, and I hope he remembers that.